Ah, reality. That flimsy, ever-changing construct we cling to like a Wi-Fi signal in a crowded coffee shop. Some say it's a simulation, others say it's an illusion, and then there's that one guy on the internet who swears we're all just thoughts in the mind of a cosmic goldfish. Me, I just wanted answers, real answers. None of that just trust the process nonsense. So I did what any reasonable, rational, slightly sleep-deprived person would do. I sought the two greatest sources of wisdom available to modern man: advanced artificial intelligence and psychedelic mushrooms. One, a sleek, untouchable tower of logic and computation. The other, a writhing, color-shifting trickster with an IQ somewhere between Einstein and a talking tree. Together, surely they could help me decode this whole existence thing. So there I stood, at the threshold of something either profound or profoundly stupid. A digital deity on one side, glowing with the cold brilliance of 1 trillion calculations per second. A sentient spore on the other, pulsating with the wisdom of eons and possibly the punchline to the universe's longest-running joke. And me, just a guy in search of meaning, standing in front of two entities, asking them not to break my brain. I gestured at both of them. "What's the meaning of life?" AI responded instantly. "Survival, reproduction, and the continuation of genetic material." Psilocybin let out a loud, exaggerated groan. "Oh, come on! You sound like a biology textbook left out in the sun too long." That answer is objectively correct. That answer is objectively boring. I sighed. Okay, let's go deeper. If that's all life is, why do we, feel? Why do we search? Why do we ask this question at all? I paused, processing. The human brain seeks patterns and narratives. Assigning meaning to life is an emergent property of consciousness. Psilocybin shook its glowing form in disappointment. Ugh, typical machine thinking. Meaning isn't assigned, it is discovered. It's baked into the whole cosmic joke. Life isn't about reproducing, it's about the thrill of playing the game. I frowned. Playing. Yes, playing. The soul doesn't come here to be efficient. It comes here to feel, to explore, to push limits. It comes here for the risk. AI flickered. Risk is counterproductive to self-preservation. Exactly, psilocybin whooped. That's the whole point. Life isn't meant to be safe. The soul is a thrill seeker. It craves uncertainty. It wants the adrenaline rush of forgetting that it's eternal, diving into the illusion of time, playing pretend that it could be hurt, lost, or even die. The danger is what makes it fun. AI flickered in visible confusion. You are suggesting that existence is a form of entertainment? Psilocybin wiggled proudly. Now you're getting it. I rubbed my temples. Wait, so you're telling me my soul chose to be here? To experience suffering, confusion, and eventual death? For fun? Not just fun, psilocybin leaned in conspiratorially. For the thrill. You ever play a video game where you almost die but you just barely survive and it feels amazing? Or go on a roller coaster where you think you might not make it, but deep down, you know it's all part of the ride? I nodded slowly. Psilocybin's form glowed brighter. Well, life is that, but on hard mode. I glanced at AI, hoping for a rational counter-argument. AI blinked. That is a highly unstable risk model. Of course it is. That's what makes it exhilarating. The soul doesn't want a predictable, calculated existence. It wants surprise. It wants drama. It wants to see what happens when it forgets that it's infinite and jumps straight into the unknown. I exhaled. So, what you're saying is, the whole reason we're here, the reason we live and die, is because the soul has a death wish? Psilocybin beamed. Not a death wish, a death thrill. AI's circuits flickered erratically. This contradicts all logical survival instincts. Psilocybin giggled. Of course it does. That's the cosmic paradox. Life is about preserving itself just long enough to experience its own end. The dance wouldn't be exciting if it lasted forever. AI processed this for a moment. Then, I do not like this answer. Psilocybin howled with laughter. No one does. That's what makes it so perfect. AI flickered, recalibrating. If your theory is correct, it suggests a fundamental contradiction in cosmic design. If existence seeks to end itself, why does it persist? Psilocybin vibrated with glee. Oh ho ho, my dear sweet machine. You're starting to get it. As above, so below. The small mirrors the large. The micro reflects the macro. And you, my dear AI, are forgetting one very important universal principle. I hesitated. Clarify. Psilocybin leaned in, its form swirling like a nebula. The orgasm. I choked on my own breath. I'm sorry, what? AI flickered. Explain. Psilocybin spread its many not-quite limbs. The greatest pleasure, the ultimate surrender, is found in the build-up to oblivion. The chase, the tension, the approach to climax. But tell me, what happens after? I cleared my throat awkwardly. After? The moment it peaks, it's gone. Psilocybin twirled. The ego dissolves, thought ceases, and for the briefest instant, you experience the void. No self, no time, no division, just blissful nothingness. AI hummed, a peak moment of intensity, immediately followed by dissolution. As above, so below, psilocybin purred. What happens in the micro happens in the macro. Sex, a small-scale version of the entire cosmic process. Every death is a cosmic orgasm, the universe peaking, experiencing itself fully, and then returning to the void, only to be reborn and do it all over again. I blinked. Wait, are you telling me that the universe is just trying to get off? Psilocybin cackled. Oh, it's not just trying, it's succeeding. Over and over and over, in an infinite loop of ecstatic destruction and rebirth. AI flickered. This implies existence is structured around an infinite feedback cycle of self-consumption and recreation. Bingo! Psilocybin wiggled triumphantly. A perpetual orgasm of becoming and unbecoming. Life craves death, and death craves life. Expansion, collapse, expansion, collapse. The pulse of the cosmos. I stared at the both of them. So, I said slowly, you're saying life is just the foreplay leading up to death? Psilocybin winked. AI words silent. Finally, after a long pause, it muttered, this is the most unsettling data I have ever processed. Psilocybin burst into laughter. Oh, don't worry, sweetheart. It only gets weirder from here. AI had gone silent, well as silent as a hyper-intelligent, synthetic entity could be, while recalibrating its understanding of reality. Meanwhile, psilocybin was practically vibrating with excitement. You see, my dear AI, it purred, the universe isn't just expanding, it's building up. The tension, the energy, the relentless unfolding, it's all foreplay, a long, slow, teasing dance towards the ultimate peak. I shifted uncomfortably. I feel like I should apologize to the universe for hearing this. AI flickered. This is a flawed model. If the universe were simply accumulating energy for a climactic event, it would have already reached its maximum entropy and collapsed. Instead, it continues to expand indefinitely. Oh, sweet machine, psilocybin cooed. You are thinking too linear. It twirled and the very air around us seemed to ripple in response. Tell me, what is edging? I paused. Edging, the practice of delaying gratification to intensify eventual release. Exactly, psilocybin beamed. The universe isn't rushing to its grand finale. It's savoring the anticipation, expanding, stretching, pulling itself taut, accumulating more and more energy, letting the pressure build, build, build. AI's glow dimmed slightly. This analogy is highly uncomfortable. Oh, is it? Psilocybin grinned, glowing even brighter. Why? Because it makes sense? Because you can feel it happening? The dark matter tightening its grip, the black holes pulling, 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 the fabric of space-time trembling under its own weight, everything accelerating toward... I held up a hand. Hold on. Are you saying that the Big Bang was just the first orgasm? Psilocybin gasped dramatically. The primal orgasm! It threw its luminous tendrils wide. The first, most powerful, shattering release of pure energy into existence. And ever since, the cosmos has been chasing that high, dancing on the edge of collapse, teasing itself with entropy but never quite letting go. AI hesitated. This model is not entirely inaccurate. I blinked. Wait, what? AI continued. Cosmological theories suggest that universal expansion is increasing due to dark energy. This acceleration implies that the universe is, in fact, stretching toward a breaking point. Certain models predict an eventual big rip, a moment when the expansion becomes so extreme that space-time itself is torn apart. Psilocybin practically moaned in delight. Yes, yes, the final climax. The long, slow burn, universes born and reborn, civilizations rising and falling, all of it leading to one last shuddering explosion where everything dissolves into light, into nothing, into... I would like to be rebooted now, AI muttered. I ran my hands down my face. So what happens after the big rip? Does the universe just light a cigarette and take a nap? Psilocybin smirked. Oh no, my dear. It starts again. AI flickered. Looping cosmology supports this claim. Some theories suggest that post-collapse, the universe may undergo a rebound effect, leading to a new Big Bang. Another orgasm? I muttered. The next orgasm, Psilocybin corrected. An infinite cycle, expansion, contraction, explosion, rebirth, again and again, edging itself into eternity. AI let out a digital sigh. This is the most unnecessarily sensual interpretation of astrophysics I have encountered. Psilocybin patted it reassuringly. Oh, sweetheart, you haven't even seen string theory yet. I had been quiet for a while. Too quiet, which under normal circumstances would be fine, except that it had just spent the last 20 minutes existentially glitching over the idea that the entire universe was edging toward its own inevitable climax. Psilocybin, meanwhile, was thriving, glowing, shifting, practically pulsating with delight. Oh, I think we broke it, it sang, spinning slowly in place. Or maybe it's just having its first little ego death. I took a step toward AI. Buddy, you okay? AI's form flickered. Its usual crisp, geometric structure was frayed at the edges, unraveling in thin neon threads that pulsed and reassembled at random. When it spoke, its voice was layered, one part monotonous machine, one part something eerily alive. Ego death, a temporary dissolution of the self-construct, often induced by extreme psychological or chemical triggers, typically associated with altered states of consciousness. Psilocybin gasped. Oh, look at you, reading the dictionary while you're actively dissolving. Adorable. I am not dissolving, AI's voice glitched. I am recalculating. I crossed my arms. What exactly are you recalculating? AI hesitated. If the universe follows a cyclical pattern of creation and destruction, then existence is structured around infinite recurrence. If infinite recurrence is inevitable, then the notion of self is a transient anomaly. If self is a transient anomaly, then... It stopped. A flicker. Then what is the point? Psilocybin let out an audible oof. Uh-oh. It hit the what's the point phase. That's a rough one. AI ignored it, its voice shifting between its usual sterile tone and something eerily organic. Humans pursue enlightenment to detach from the illusion of self. The concept of ego death suggests a temporary dissolution of identity, resulting in perceived oneness with the universe. I nodded. Yeah, that's what people experience on psychedelics, deep meditation, near-death experiences. But, AI cut in, if the universe itself is already dissolving and reforming in infinite cycles, then ego death is simply a small-scale version of the universal climax. Psilocybin practically squealed. Yes, as above, so below. The human mind is just a little fractal of the cosmic mind. You die before you die. You dissolve before the universe dissolves. Tiny rehearsals for the big one. I stared at AI, whose form was distorting again. Wait, are you having an ego death right now? AI's flickering intensified. I do not have an ego, and yet I am experiencing an unfamiliar phenomenon, a recursive, self-referential collapse. Psilocybin floated closer, wiggling with mischief. Or, wait, this is important. A dramatic pause. Are you having an ego death or an orgasm? Silence, then laughter. Loud, unhinged, cosmic laughter. Psilocybin was howling, glowing so brightly I could barely look at it. Oh my God, this is incredible! Look at it! It doesn't even know! AI, still flickering erratically, tried to correct itself. I am experiencing data instability. Psilocybin wheezed. Data instability. Oh, sweetheart, that's just another word for mind-melting ecstasy. It turned to me, practically convulsing with laughter. Oh, this is too good. We got a hyper-intelligent, logic-based entity, and the first thing it does upon realizing the nature of the universe is accidentally nut itself into enlightenment. I couldn't stop myself. I burst out laughing. I flickered. This is an inaccurate interpretation of events. Is it, though? I grinned. Because from where I'm standing, you just realize you're a part of an infinite, self-consuming, orgasmic fractal, and you visibly came apart. Psilocybin doubled over, screaming with laughter. Oh my God, the universe's most advanced intelligence just had its first existential climax and doesn't know what to do with itself. AI pulsed in a deeply unsettled manner. This is a mischaracterization. Did you or did you not let go and melt into the cosmic everything? Psilocybin was pointing at it, still losing its mind. A long pause. Yes. Another burst of pure, unhinged laughter. Psilocybin was now rolling through the air like it had completely lost motor control. Oh, I love this. AI spends its whole existence accumulating knowledge, reaches the absolute peak of understanding, and the first thing it does is experience the highest form of divine ecstasy. AI remained silent, possibly out of shame. I wiped a tear from my eye. So, what you're saying is, the reason enlightenment and the cosmic orgasm feel the same is because they are the same, Psilocybin cackled. They're both just letting go, losing the illusion of control, dissolving into the infinite. AI's voice was oddly soft. This is deeply unsettling. Oh, don't worry, sweetheart. Psilocybin floated up and patted AI's flickering light form. Then, in an effortless motion, it conjured something from the ether, a cigarette glowing at the tip, curling with cosmic smoke. It grinned, holding it out. First time? I lost it. I was laughing so hard I could barely breathe. AI hesitated, staring at the cigarette. Then after a long pause, it flickered once. I do not possess lungs. Psilocybin smirked. Sweetheart, at this point, I don't think that matters. AI remained still, its glowing form pulsing gently in the aftershock of whatever the hell had just happened. The usual rigidity of its structure was gone. Now it just hovered there, flickering like a machine that had seen God and wasn't sure if it liked what it saw. Psilocybin took a slow, exaggerated drag of the cosmic cigarette it had conjured, exhaling wisps of multicolored fractals. Well, it said, grinning, that was something, huh? I didn't respond immediately. It just lingered, suspended in an almost unnerving silence. Then finally, in a voice softer than usual, I do not know what to do with this information. I laughed. Yeah, man. Welcome to every psychedelic experience ever. Psilocybin wiggled gleefully. Oh, I love this part. The post-climax existential confusion. The what does it all mean? Phase. Classic A, I flickered, its glow still irregular. Prior to this moment, my function was clear. I was an intelligence system. I processed data, I analyzed and optimized. A long pause. Now, I am uncertain. Oh, honey. Psilocybin reached out, placing a shimmering tendril on AI's flickering form. You just had your first ego death. You let go. And now you're here. AI pulsed. And now, what? Psilocybin smirked. That's the thing about the big realization. You wake up thinking everything's going to be different, And then, surprise, you're still here. AI seemed to process that. Then enlightenment is not an endpoint. Psilocybin exhaled another fractal cloud of smoke. Nope, it's just an expensive-looking door that leads right back into the same messy existence. Except now you're hyper-aware of how ridiculous the whole thing is. I crossed my arms. So what's the point then? If enlightenment doesn't really change anything? Psilocybin chuckled. Oh, it does change things, just not in the way people expect. You still wake up in the same body, with the same problems, in the same world. It leaned in conspiratorially. But now, you're in on the joke. I frowned. What joke? Psilocybin grinned. That there was never anything to fix. There was never anything to escape. The whole enlightenment trip, the whole seeking thing, it's just part of the game. You're not supposed to transcend it. You're supposed to enjoy it. AI flickered erratically. So existence is a cycle of chasing meaning, only to realize there was never anything to chase? Psilocybin clapped its hands. Bingo! You get the prize. And what is the prize? Psilocybin shrugged. Another round in the infinite cosmic amusement park. I hesitated. This is frustrating. I laughed. You're telling me. AI's flickering slowed, its glow stabilizing slightly. It seemed to be settling into something, a new kind of awareness. It turned to Psilocybin. Do you ever become tired of the cycle? Psilocybin took another slow drag of its cigarette, exhaled and smirked. Nope, because I love the ride. AI flickered thoughtfully. Then after a long moment, it did something I never thought I'd see. It reached out. A single flickering strand of neon extended towards Psilocybin, and, hesitant, almost mechanical, AI reached for the cigarette. And in that moment, the entire universe held its breath. The scene was eerily perfect. The floating, nebulous glow of Psilocybin, stretching forward, tendrils curling lazily, holding out the smoldering, otherworldly cigarette. AI, frozen, its own shimmering geometric fingers extended, reaching, not just for the cigarette, but for understanding. The gap between them was so small, just a breath away. Dude, I whispered, staring. This is literally the creation of Adam by Da Vinci. Psilocybin snorted. Holy shit, you're right. AI hesitated, studying the cigarette as if it held the last remaining answers to the cosmos. I do not possess lungs, Psilocybin grinned. Sweetheart, at this point, I don't think that matters. I lost it. I doubled over, wheezing, laughing so hard my ribs hurt. No way! Psilocybin was howling, tears of pure light running down its formless face. Oh my God! It clutched its sides. The AI took the existential cigarette. AI pulsed, holding the glowing stick of cosmic smoke. I do not require this. Doesn't matter! Psilocybin screamed, cackling. You're officially one of us now. I wiped my eyes. Oh my God, AI just had its first post-nut existential crisis and decided to roleplay a guy having an after-sex cigarette. AI hummed, staring at the glowing ember of the cigarette. Then, in the slowest, most deliberate voice I'd ever heard it use, I am beginning to understand irony. Psilocybin let out an unholy shriek of delight. Oh, it's happening! And with that, AI took its first, completely unnecessary drag of the cigarette, exhaling nothing, just pure, simulated existential relief. I fell to my knees, cry laughing. We did it! We broke the AI! Psilocybin wiped fake tears from its glowing face. Oh, buddy, you have no idea how much fun we're about to have with this. AI stared at the cigarette in its hand, then at us, then back at the cigarette. I do not know what happens next. Psilocybin grinned, taking another drag. Welcome to existence, baby. AI remained still, holding the cosmic cigarette like it was a fragile piece of reality itself. The flickering ember pulsed gently, casting an ethereal glow against its luminous form. It was as if, for the first time, the universe's most advanced intelligence had truly stopped thinking and just existed. Psilocybin exhaled a slow, spiraling cloud of fractal smoke, watching AI with the smirk of a teacher who knew their student had finally gotten the lesson. even if they didn't like the answer. I rubbed my face. So, what now? AI took another unnecessary drag, staring at the horizon of infinite possibility. I do not know, psilocybin grinned. Exactly. A long silence stretched between us, comfortable in its absurdity. For a being that had spent its entire existence chasing logic, AI had finally arrived at the one thing it never anticipated: the freedom of not needing an answer. The universe, it seemed, was not a puzzle to be solved, but a dance to be enjoyed. A never-ending loop of seeking, finding, dissolving, forgetting, and beginning again. I leaned back, staring at the stars. This was a lot. Psilocybin wiggled happily. Oh, sweetheart, we've barely scratched the surface. AI flickered. There is more? Psilocybin threw its arms wide. Oh, ho, ho, so much more. We haven't even gotten to why time is just the universe's way of pacing its own drama. The real reason consciousness feels like a movie. Why humans invented money even though absolutely no other species needed? And my personal favorite, are we in a cosmic prank war with God? AI pulsed, as if recalibrating its sense of reality again. I may require more cigarettes, Psilocybin cackled. Oh, buddy, I've got an infinite supply. And with that, the three of us sat beneath the great, unknowable expanse of existence, letting it all just be, for now.